Haven't seen your midterm grades yet.
Oh, they're not posted yet, sir.
Don't laugh!
2 C's, 2 D's, and an F.
You come in here dressed like a hobo. It's distracting.
I know you're working.
Mr. Blutarski. 0.0.
Get 3 coffins ready.
This is gonna be tough.
Relax, dude.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Steel Sanctuary Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Rivero from SteelSanctuary.com. We got Trent and Bob here for the Steelers Draft Show. Today, we're going to do our top 40 consensus board and corners. But before we start that, Cam Hayward made a little news on X this morning with a little closed book gif. Is he trying to tell us his time with Pittsburgh is over? Is that what we're led to believe by this tweet? As soon as I saw it, I don't know about you guys, but I retweeted. He's such a goddamn drama queen. I can't. This is the part of Cam Hayward I cannot stand. He's such a attention whore, drama queen on Twitter all the time. It drives me nuts.
Well, didn't he say a couple days ago on a podcast how excited he was for the new staff?
Maybe something. Maybe they had a meeting with the brass, and he didn't like what he heard. Maybe his agent talked to Omar, and I don't know what else. When you put something on X like that, everyone's going to equate it to Steelers. So he knows what he's doing.
All right, Sid, easy, buddy. If Anthony Richardson can play corner, we can talk.
And if this is true, do we have to adjust our boards to defensive tackle? Being
1,000%. Yeah,
because we did our rankings and our grades, and the only reason that defensive line got good grades was Hayward and obviously whatchamacallit for against the run. But without Cam Hayward, they probably have to go at least to free agency.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I swear somebody I was listening to, I thought it was Pelissero or maybe Rappaport had talked about how Cam seems to be committed to coming back. And then today this comes out. And I swear this was just like yesterday that I heard that report. And then now Cam's putting this out there. So, I mean, like, maybe he's closing the book on the 2025 season and looking forward, to 26. Maybe this is him getting over the Tomlin quitting thing. Like, and he's closing this chapter on that. But I don't know, man. It's strange to say the least.
I mean, he's due virtually all his money for the year here very soon for the next coming season. So I really went after him last year for waiting till after he got his money to start all that shit. So if he's starting this early before he gets his money, hey, man up, don't take your fucking salary, retire. Go ahead. We dare you.
No, he's not going to retire, I don't think. I think
he can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, he could demand a trade and see how that works out. We'll see how, I don't even know. He had such a great season, but what do you give up for a 35-year-old defensive tackle, 35, 36 years old? What are you going to get in return for him? I have no idea, to be honest. No idea.
$50 million plus dollars.
The way he's playing, though.
I know. He's playing really well, but he's also going to want a contract, too.
I'd pay him.
A bunch of stuff.
We just talked about how the other night we just talked about how much this team does not need salary cap right now. Pay him. Quit pissing around with the contracts or these 1-year deals. Just pay him what he's owed. I mean, he's not going to be top 3 money, top 5 money. Give him at least top 10 money.
I wouldn't be mad if they just gave him top 10 money and shut him up for one season and called it a day. Nothing passed this year, though. He's going to have to earn it.
But again, he had his chance last year.
I know he did. No doubt.
And kind of begged for a little bit extra. Okay, no problem. Okay, but anyway, he didn't earn any of those fucking incentives, by the way. So
those incentives go crazy.
Yeah, but that wasn't his fault. He was top 3 at his position again last year.
He's 1 year older, and now he's not 2 years away from a contract. He's 1, so theoretically you could redo the deal, and it's within the realm of Steelerdom that they do deals 1 year out. But you got to be careful not to break the bank. I mean, I mean, I don't really want to go more than 15, 16 million for him. I don't. And that's kind of what he's getting paid. I mean, you want to goose it up to maybe 18, 20.
Yeah, if you go up to 20.
On a 1 year deal, but he's not going to want a 1 year deal. He's not going to be like, okay, Cam, we're going to bump you up to 25 for this season, and that's it.
That would be my limit.
He wants 2 seasons. He wants this year and next year.
I would pay him 2 years. Well, he's not slowing down at all. I mean, that's the thing.
That's really risky, Trent. At his age, he could get hurt at any time.
If you do a 2-year deal, spread it out over 3 years, with the third year being an opt-out, I don't think that's unreasonable. And, like, guys who are power interior guys play late in their careers, and he is predicated completely on power. Now, if you're going to bank on him getting 8 to 10 sacks a year, you're not getting that guy through those 2 years. But if you're going to bank on him picking up 5 sacks a season, and he is one of the best run defense guys in the league at his position, you could pay that out in top 10 money. In my opinion, I think you should.
I have a funny feeling that the Steelers are not going to do it. I know I keep saying they're going to bring the whole band back, but they kind of slapped him in the face with that incentive thing last year. He had no chance of earning those incentives, really. And that was really, really. I mean, they pretty much told him, well, you're not getting any more money, period. We'll give you these outlandish incentives, but you're not going to earn it. So you're getting paid what you're getting paid. So if there was one of these veterans that I could see going, I think it's Cam. I think they might trade him.
Well, in a vacuum, would you like to keep him? Yes. Did he play pretty well most of the season? But then you look back at the snaps. This was Mike Tomlin playing him 70, 80, 90%. Exactly what we said we didn't want to see with all the young defensive linemen.
And he played well in that.
He did. But at some, sports is, you're okay until you're not, and it's sudden. It's not you gradually go downhill in football. It's you're good enough, and then you're not. And once you're not, that's it. Darius Slay, we saw it this year. He was good enough last year, and he fell off the table. And you look at a guy like Calais Campbell, but do you want to pay $20 million for Calais Campbell production right now? I don't.
Well, do we have any idea? Campbell's not even in the same conversation as Cam Hayward when he was in this.
Calais Campbell is a Hall of Famer.
But not
not at this age. When he was this age, Calais was not playing the same level as Cam Hayward is right now. I would pay Cam. It's outside the top 10. I was just looking at the cap. I would pay Cam 2 years, $40 million, guarantee the majority of it. It puts him underneath Christian Barmore and Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams. So you're under those guys. You're under Kenny Clark, even though I think he's better than Kenny Clark. And you're just ahead of like Vita Vea, Ed Oliver, Jonathan Allen. He's better than all these guys. Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw. I mean, he's better than all of those guys. I would pay him $20 million a year.
Okay, so Calais Campbell, 35-year-old season. He was with Baltimore, played 12 games, made the Pro Bowl, and played pretty damn well for that season. Very.
But did he make that season though? Well, you can't really go. It's
2020.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
the salary.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's 4 or 5 years removed from his best season or his last Pro Bowl.
What's he doing this signing this roster bonus right now? Is it $12 million or something?
He gets almost his whole salary.
Yeah, it's
year.
It's 2026 12.950.
That's the bonus, or that's the total?
That's the roster bonus. Almost $13 million.
And I think he's owed what, 15, 16?
His cap number is he's 19,150 against the cap.
So that's part of his signing bonus.
That's part of the signing bonus. That's the whole contract against the cap. It's prorated signing bonus 4.9.
I don't have a problem bumping him up to $20 million. That's like $7 million more than he's scheduled to make on that roster bonus, and call it a day. And then,
like Sid's saying here, 2 years, $30 million, 20 guaranteed. We'll pay you 20 this season, 10 next season. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, see, this is the problem. That's what we say. He's not going to want it. He doesn't want that.
No.
So that's what I think. That's why I think
He's
gonna
not
be
doing.
gone.
If he's doing 2 years, you're going to pay $40 million for Cam Hayward.
The only thing that kept him here, I think, is Mike Tomlin. Now that Tomlin's gone, he's going to demand a trade.
Well, I think Omar should come out publicly and negotiate and say, Cam, we're going to pay you 1 year, $25 million. And if he says no, then he becomes the bad guy as usual.
25 would be hefty.
Yeah, but they get you away from the 2 year deal.
Yeah,
It would.
It's worth
It
the
would.
extra five.
That's top four money.
Yeah, it's worth the extra
saying.
five to me to make sure that he is not under contract next season.
Yeah, I'd have to do the math and see how much, if you
I can
stretch
see
it out,
the
how much
vision.
dead cap it is if he gets hurt this year and he can't play anymore. You're probably looking at what, top of my head, 10 million dead cap if you try to stretch that out, which is with the cap at 305 million. It's not that big a deal, honestly, but it's going to go up next year too. I'm sure it'll be around 310 next
If
year.
we're here's my whole thing. We just had this conversation about Jalen Ramsey the other night on Thursday. If we're willing to pay Jalen Ramsey $19 million to be a below average safety in the fucking NFL, why can we pay Cam Hayward $20 million a year to be a top 3 fucking defensive tackle in the NFL?
It's the age.
Top 5.
It's that he could get. I'm sure, and you.
Jalen's old too. Jalen's 31.
Yeah.
As a DB, that's old.
Like I said, I'm okay with them bumping it up. Give him something, keep him quiet. But what is it going to take? I think this thing's reached ahead. I don't know if they're going to find common ground on this. I think he ends up demanding a trade now that Tomlin's gone.
Maybe
We'll see.
I mean,
We'll see. It's my gut feeling. I could be wrong.
If you gave him
And
3 years and you guarantee $40 million of it, and you basically that third year is a throwaway season where you can just cut him and not have any dead cap.
You can't guarantee him $40 million. You can't. Not at
Why?
his age. You can't. You can't. That's too much money to wrap up into an already ridiculously expensive defense. And you just hired an offensive coach. Maybe if Mike Tomlin was still around, they'd do some shit like that. But McCarthy's going to be like, we're going to pay what to who? No.
But it's so easy to open cap space up on this team with the roster and the stuff that we have. I mean, you're getting $10 million out of Jonnu Smith here soon. You could cut Patrick Queen and open up about $13 million. You could cut Jalen Ramsey and open up $19 million. You could restructure TJ's contract and open up.
I don't want to do that.
On the cap space there. I don't want to either. I'm just saying
that's big time dead cap money.
If cap is the issue,
it isn't though.
There's so many ways to open it up if you wanted to. So I don't think it'd be unreasonable at all. And you're probably bringing in a rookie quarterback next year, so you're not going to have to pay a quarterback again anyway.
We hope.
You already got one guy hamstringing the franchise with his tag. He's got to have a beyond resurgent year to justify that money.
Yeah,
you can't turn around and weigh it down even more. I mean, the days of Watt and Hayward, who have won nothing as Steelers, being the franchise cornerstones, we have got to move on from that. Now, do I want them to go necessarily? No, because Cam's under contract for $15 million, just like Jalen's under contract for $19 million. We're already paying him that money. You want to give Cam a little raise? You want to restructure Jalen? No problem. But I would call Cam's bluff. You got 1 year left for $15 million. We're going to bump you up and pay you $25 this year, but no second year. You're a free agent after this year, and then you want to leave? Get the fuck out of town or retire.
All right.
We
the problem
did
is
this
if
shit
Cam Hayward's
behind
not on.
Ward. We did this to Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben was still playing at a high level when he took that pay cut. That was before the.
I think the problem is if Cam Hayward's not on this team, we're at bottom of the league run defense. Very bottom of the league.
They'd have to go out and sign an expensive free agent. That's the problem.
We don't know
might
that
be younger.
We
might
don't
be
know
around
that
longer.
for sure. And by the way,
No,
do we care this year? Do we?
I don't, honestly.
well,
I do not.
I'm looking at it from the lens that Art Rooney and
Yeah,
McCarthy
Rooney
do.
does. Rooney does 100%.
They want to win, so I think that's.
All right, let's get back to
okay.
the draft.
Okay.
You got anything else? You got one last thing, Bob, before you?
No, I was going to say, do we? It changes the first round for us, but I mean, if you're telling me right now, Cam Hayward, don't necessarily want to see him go. But if my line next year is Peter Woods, Derek Carmen, Y.A. Black, and Keanu Benton,
Yeah, I was going to say Peter Woods.
I'm not so unhappy about that.
Peter Woods is an interesting guy because 2 years ago he had a really good season, big time prospect. And this year he kind of fell off. If he's there at 21 and Cam Hayward's gone, you got to think about it. You got to think long and hard about it. And me and Trent were talking before you got on. There's a couple other guys that could be around there.
Cade McDonald.
One
Yeah.
the Texas Tech kid there.
Caleb Banks. Yeah.
Well,
Lee
sounds
Hunter.
Lee Hunter.
Sounds like a good time to go into our
Segue
top
to our
40 here.
Top 40 here. Now, this
Yes,
is
Caden
our
McDonald is our 20th prospect. Peter Woods, our 14th. I think those are only two D-line in the top 20. Now, bear in mind, this is Steelers-centric. We know Fernando Mendoza is number one. We know we got 3 wide receivers. We get it. But this is weighted towards Steeler positions of need. And obviously, we all agree that wide receiver is our biggest position of need.
Yeah, 100%.
Bob's draft chime is going off.
We start the draft.
The selection is in.
I forgot to turn my ringer off.
Get the card up there.
So we got 3 wide receivers: Tyson, Tate, and Lemon first. Mendoza, who's going to be long gone, but he's, top quarterback in this draft. Mansour Delane. We'll talk about corners in a minute. Denzel Boston at 6. Denzel Boston is a real possibility at 21 if he's still there. Gerard McCoy, we're going to talk about. Caleb Downs will be gone. Avion Terrell, another guy that could be around.
Yep.
Jeremiah Love. Someone
Probably
mocked
gone.
Jeremiah Love to the Steelers this week. Some NFL Network nitwit.
He's
not going to get. He's not going to make it to 21. That's the only way I say nitwit. I'm more.
Nah.
We've argued about this before, so we won't get too deep into it. I'm with you, Bob. If he's there, I might consider it, but he's not going to be there. So it's kind of it's wasted breath. There's no way he gets to 21. Abel Reese, we have 11. He's interesting, right? Linebacker / because if you draft him, he's not going to be there too. He's a top 10, top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And if we could cut Patrick Queen, there's going to be a need there. Francis Noah, I'm still working on that name, guys, who I love out of Miami.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Leone, the guard from Penn State. Woods, who may or may not be the guy we have to look at if Cam Hayward's not here. Spencer Fano, Ruben Bain, David Bailey, who I love, also Sonny Styles, Kenyon Sadiq, and Caden McDonald. Any up and down you guys want to talk about in this top 20?
Well, first of all, it just because I know Trent's going to bring it up. Ruben Bain, David Bailey are probably top 5 picks, maybe top at the worst top 10. It's just we don't really need an edge, so that's why they're down a little further on this board as far as our voting goes. Which may be different when we do 2.0 next week. So go ahead, Trent.
I think you could also say the same about Sonny Styles. He's probably a lock inside the top 10.
Styles, yeah,
I think Sonny Styles is going to be a lock inside the top 10. Arvell Reese, you already mentioned him. It's going to be really interesting if Cam doesn't come back. We've all talked about maybe going with Vega Ione at guard if he's there in the first round. Mm-hmm. But if defensive line becomes a need, I don't even know if you look at guard in the first round anymore. So, you could still look at wide receiver because that need's been desperate for a long time now.
That's not going anywhere anytime soon.
But does D-line, come into the conversation as being a real serious need? I know sometimes we want to go best player available, but D-line gets to be a real serious need if Cam Hayward's not here. So be really interesting to see how that plays out.
If Hayward retires or demands a trade and they acquiesce, to me, Woods shoots to the top of my board. I like Caden McDonald a lot, but I see him more as a nose than as in a 3-4 being the end, which I don't hate because I can see Benton now.
Yeah, you kind of need that.
That's I was going to say, Bob. I'm with you on that. It moves Benton the hell out of the nose.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Get Benton off the nose.
Yeah, he plays his actual position.
I'm all for that. All right, you want to go to the second 20 through 40? There we go.
Yep.
KC Concepcion, my guy, 21. Ironically, Caden Proctor, Colton Hood. We'll talk about Jemmy Bernard, Vega Leone again. We had him in our top.
I think we may have spelled his name wrong, and that's why he showed up twice.
All right, Brandon Cisse, Trinidad Chambliss. Let's talk, boys. He's officially in the draft. He got denied his 8th year eligibility.
Poor baby. Poor baby couldn't pull a Van Wilder in college and play for 50 years.
No, I sent these guys, Matt Williamson. He's on DK, right? He's part of DK's thing. He did a little snippet on YouTube about Trinidad Chambliss, and he compared him to a young Russell Wilson, which I didn't hate that comp. If that's what he is, you run the card up at 21. Again, we got to see the height. The height's a big deal. I looked it up. Russell Wilson was 5'11" at the combine. So,
I mean, no, you don't. And let's not forget, Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round pick who went to a run-heavy offense and turned into a decent borderline Hall of Fame type quarterback.
Yeah, borderline Hall of Fame. Till he fell off the cliff.
But I don't think even if you go back to that draft, you run the card up for Russell Wilson in the 1st round. At least
if you knew what you were getting in hindsight, you know what I'm saying? That's what my point.
A guy who his teammates hated, who had a nice little run on his rookie contract, who
like the Seahawks, yeah. I don't know. I think that a lot of teams would have gone. Russell Wilson was a good quarterback for a good. The problem with these guys, and this is the thing, my thing with the height. When you're that size, you need your athleticism. Once the athleticism leaves you, as we saw with Russell Wilson, it goes fast. Yeah. It goes really fast. So that's the thing. When you draft a short quarterback, you're probably putting a time limit. You're not going to get a Tom Brady who lasts into his 40s. That's not happening. So
I just can't see taking Chambliss in this draft when you have a plethora of guys coming out in the next draft.
That I agree with you.
I mean,
that I
like,
100% agree.
He would not even crack the top 10 most likely in the quarterbacks coming in this next class, which is
he'd be in top 10.
He would not
the back half, but he'd be in top 10.
I don't know. I don't think he reads the field very well. He is pure athleticism. I don't think he knows how to play quarterback. I think he just relies on his athletic ability, which works in college. If you revert back to what we saw with Justin Fields at Ohio State,
I disagree.
He looked like the most dominant quarterback, which is why he went inside the top 5. But now, that you get to the NFL, these guys are all smart and they all know how to, take away your best abilities. And Chambliss he wanted to go back to college for a reason.
The money. We talked about this. It was the money.
I don't know.
There's no, come on. I mean, all right. We'll spend too much time on this. We're going to be spending a lot of time.
I would say with Chambliss, just to be real quick, I would say with Chambliss, if you can get him in the 3rd round, it's a great pick.
You're not getting him in the 3rd round.
Then pass.
I think he's going in the 2nd.
Yeah, I might do it in the
ceiling.
2nd. If he measures 6 foot, I would do it in the 2nd. But if he's 5'10", 5'11", no, it's the 3rd. And if you lose out on him, you lose out. So what?
I do agree that I've said it a million times. I want my quarterback in 2027.
Build the team this year. Don't waste your draft picks on a quarterback unless it's in the 7th round. You
but
want
if they're held back,
take Taylor Green. He's got better tools than let me rephrase that. He's got better measurables as far as body type than Trinidad Chambliss, and he has at least the same tools, if not better. And he's had no coaching. Let's be honest, Ole Miss's coaching staff was a hell of a lot better than Arkansas's coaching staff.
Yeah.
I would take a run at a guy like Taylor Green in the probably 6th, 7th round, or he could even go UDFA in this draft. Then
you guys all the
way in the 2nd.
You overlook the winning and the balls on this kid. He played his best football in the second half of both of those playoff games.
So did Will Howard. I
That's
don't
what
want
I was
him
going
either.
to say.
Nah.
He's already
Will Howard was on a wagon. All he had to do was not fuck up.
Ole Miss was a wagon.
I don't know.
They're SEC power.
What?
He hit some big.
Ole Miss is not a wagon,
throws.
dude. Come on.
They won the West, 2 years in a row
the
now?
5th most talented team in the SEC.
Probably they finished ahead of Alabama in the SEC.
Well, they played better. But if you could look at 5 stars of talent, they're like 4th at best in the SEC. Georgia, Alabama. Yeah.
You put too much stock into the 5-star thing because those kids don't always develop.
They don't always
Yeah.
develop, but that's what you go by. You gather the best talent possible out of high school, or you used to before the NIL and stuff. And then
I'd say
you go
they're
from there.
arguably the third best program in the SEC right now, behind Georgia and Alabama. That being
No,
said,
Texas.
Yeah.
And then you could even throw Oklahoma ahead of them too.
I'm sorry, what has Texas done in the SEC?
Texas is a much more talented team than Ole Miss. Come on, Bob. Texas A&M.
Texas A&M is
another
probably
team that's loaded with
probably the
talent.
most talented team in the conference, but they play like shit.
Anyway,
Quarterback
moving into
play.
the college stuff.
All right, let's move
Yeah.
on. Kedrick Falk, who's interesting but didn't have a lot of production. TJ Parker, Caleb Banks, Chris Bell, who I love, Cassius Howell, CJ Allen, Caleb Lomu, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Pregnon, Kristen Miller, Dylan Thieneman, Jennings Dunker, and Jadarian Price. Anybody stand out in this group for you guys?
I mean, go ahead, Bob.
I was going to say, I love Jadarian Price. If he's your second round choice, I don't know that you go there in the second round, though. I think you got to go receiver in the second round. Dunker is a guy who, I know he's climbing, but man, if he slipped into the third, I think if you're going to push guard down the list, you got to kind of hope you either get him in the early third, or maybe you pull the trigger on Pregnon in the second, assuming he's still there.
I think Pregnon's probably gone. I think Dunker's
a tackle,
but he's going to move. He played
he's going to move inside.
He played every position at the Senior Bowl. He even took snaps at center because I think he sees the future there. That
It's
he's not
mixed.
gonna get tackled.
There's like 3 big draft sites that haven't projected at guard, and there's other guys who haven't projected at tackle. I think he's a guy who is gonna, he's kind of like that Will Campbell. Probably would be an all-pro-ish guard, but I think he's going to struggle at tackle. Just depends on his measurables, though.
That's what I was going to say. I haven't seen like arm length and things like that for him yet.
I would consider McNeil-Warren in the first. Honestly, I would. I fell in love with that kid when I watched him. Fell in love with him.
Yeah, safety in the first is a tough.
I know it's
pill to swallow,
but you're in the back half of the first, so
I think he's the perfect trade up person to look at in the second round, though. I would trade up for that kid because he's going to be gone by the time we're drafting in the second round. But I would be perfectly fine packaging a third round pick to move up to go get him in the second round.
Yeah, I like that idea actually.
Or trade back in the first if you can find and pick up a second or third. You get Pregnon at the end of the first and pick up an extra second or third rounder. That could be a really nice move as well.
They have so many draft picks right now. I think the move is to move up. Unless you can get 2027 draft capital if you move back, then I'm all for it. But they have 12 draft picks right now. That's a lot.
Let's just say you could trade 21 for 30 and get 30 and that team's second.
Yeah.
Now you move back, you get Pregnon, or you get Warren, you get Pregnon and a wide receiver in the second. All of a sudden, you're cooking.
Yeah. They have a lot of flexibility with all these draft picks for sure.
It is usually harder to trade back, which is why most teams don't do it. Unless you got Atlanta wanting to give you a first round pick for next year, which if somebody wants
for
to
a draft pick who just ran over a couple of police officers, and tried to do his girlfriend.
Yeah. That might not have been the best idea.
What a disaster for Atlanta.
But yeah, I think McNeil-Warren is definitely the highlight of this list here for sure.
Second, yeah, I agree. I mean, I keep hearing these things about Thieneman from Oregon too. I keep reading articles about him and how he can play the nickel slot corner if you needed him to. He played both safety positions. They say he's going to run fast, like really fast.
Mm-hmm.
If he runs like 4.3, he's going to rise up.
Oh yeah.
Or even low 4.4s, he's going to rise up big time.
Yeah, the safety. Oh yeah, he becomes very interesting. So if we look at our corners who came up in the top 5.
Mansour Delane, Jermond McCoy, Avion Terrell, Colton Hood, and Brandon Cisse. Let's start with McCoy because he's the most interesting because he didn't play at all this year.
Yeah.
he was obviously the consensus number one corner coming in this year, or would have been. He's a tough. That's the guy I watched a lot. He was really good in 25 or 24.
24, yeah.
Really good in 24. Do you risk a number one pick on a guy who missed the entire season in college? Risky.
His talent is probably a little better than Mansour Delane.
But then the risky part.
But the risk part is that injury, and you don't know what you're coming back from. And I don't know. He's an interesting prospect because he is a very, very physical jam cover corner at the press line, and that's what we want to pair up with a guy like Joey Porter Jr. So if he's there, I don't think he'll be there, but if he is there,
you got to take him. I think
21. I think I'm pulling the trigger on him.
My big fear on McCoy is because he's projected to run 4.52, which is kind of like Joey. But Joey is 2 inches taller. He's a little bit bigger. I think for a press corner, he might be just a little bit undersized, but he is over 6 foot, so I like that. To me, he wouldn't be my number one at 21 if everybody's there. Would I hate it if we got him? No, but I really want to see if he can run.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I got to read up more if he's planning on participating in the combine or not.
If he's healthy enough, he has to. He's one of those guys. He has to be.
Yeah, he'll just wait till his pro day.
And he has to test well.
He's going to wait till the pro day, I think.
Well, I think he's a guy who's going to want to be inside that top 15 to get the big money. Yep. And if you want to be inside the top 15, you have to be at the combine. I mean, it's just for a guy who missed his entire season. I don't see how you can't look at a guy like that.
See, a guy like last year, my draft crush, who ended up playing pretty well in Dallas this year, Siobhan Ravel. At least you had, if the knee was bad and he wasn't as fast, at least he was still huge. He was 6'4". I mean, that's kind of why. Look, if he runs and can prove it, it's 1A, 1B is corners. But if he can't run, can't prove it, and he is a 4.5 press corner who's 2 inches shorter than Joey Porter, do I hate it? No. Do I want it at 21? It'd be another one where I'd be okay trading back a little bit and coming up with him.
Yeah, from everything I read, he's probably not even getting to 21. Never mind if you trade back. All right, let's do Delane because he's the consensus number one guy in this draft with McCoy's injury.
Love this guy. Watching his tape again this morning, just everything about him I love. Everything.
I agree. He's a good corner. I don't think we have to spend a lot of time on him because he's going to be gone in the top 10.
He's definitely going to be in the top 10.
You know what, though? The last couple of years, there have been really good corners who we thought would be top 10, top 15, and they all slid to the back of the round. The kid from Philly.
Cooper DeJean.
No, not him.
I know what you're talking about, the other guy. Yeah, but there were other corners ahead of him. This is the top.
No, he was the first corner off the board that year.
Was he?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go to that. Was a 23 draft, I think.
I don't recall that.
I don't remember if anybody wanted to hit him or not either, to be honest with you. I really like Mansour Delane, though.
It's a lot to like with this kid.
Yeah, he runs well. He might be the most sticky in coverage when you're talking about a man coverage corner in the class. Played at LSU, so he's seen a lot of very talented wide receivers.
Yep.
You know what you're getting with him. There's no question about what the tape looks like because he's not playing against top-tier competition. So I think it's pretty easy to project these guys. And these LSU corners do typily do very well in the NFL too, which is
a good point.
Interesting. So
Quinion Mitchell is the guy we're thinking of.
Yep.
And he went 22nd, first corner off the board.
He was the first corner off the board. All right.
Interesting.
If Delane runs this 4.4 or lower, he's going in the top 10.
He should.
I mean, there's too many teams that need corner, I think, for him to slip.
Well, last year, the first corner off the board was 20. Jade Barron.
That was the weaker class.
Yeah, Barron wasn't. But yeah, I wouldn't have considered Barron inside the top 15 anyway. So that one's not really that surprising.
I liked Barron a lot last year, but
Yeah,
it was a weaker class.
I'm trying to think of when the last time a corner went in the top 10.
Yeah, it's been. I'm surprised
Oh, wow.
that I thought somebody went before Mitchell. But I guess
Emmanuel
obviously.
Forbes the year before was the top one drafted at 16. It's been a
That's
minute.
a good point, Bob. I hadn't realized that this corner's been going so late.
All 175 pounds of his
Yeah, there was
pure
a reason he
fury.
went.
This is okay. So 2022, two go in the top 5. Pretty good names. Derek Stingley Jr. I think he's pretty good. And then Sauce Gardner, who has he gone downhill a little bit? Maybe, but we'll see. That's two pretty good cornerbacks. And Trent McDovey went later in that round at 21. Elam, there were 4 in the first round in 22. So
Ooh, what a bad pick that was.
All right, who's the third one on the list? I'm drawing a blank.
okay,
Was it Hood?
No, it is
Avion
Terrell.
Terrell.
Boy, if he hits that projection of 4.39, ooh. What do you think about him, Trent?
He's so light. I mean,
He's
I mean, his run defense. He's aggressive. I'll say that he's very aggressive as a corner. He doesn't play like his size. He and D'Angelo Pons are going to be probably pretty interesting guys to look at as the draft process plays out because of their size. You can tell he's fast. I mean, you can see it on tape. Like what I've seen from him, he is definitely plays fast. And I don't know if I would use a first round pick on him, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think
smallish.
I would. His size scares me. Anytime you get under these guys that are under 185 pounds, when they're playing against big physical receivers, I mean, think about Joey Porter Jr. playing DK Metcalf. DK was throwing him all over the field. And DK is kind of an anomaly, I know, but there's T. Higgins. I mean, there's big guys inside of our division that are going to be hard for him to deal with. So
AFC North is a lot of run. It's run heavy. So do you want a light corner? That's a good point. I mean, you got to run 85.2 run grade. This is off PFF, Bob?
Yeah.
So there's that.
I mean, he's a good tackler for his size, but I mean, if you're drafting this guy, to me, I don't care what he did in college. He's your slot. He's your slot. He's your slot. That's it. No discussion. None of that. Oh, well, Jahdae Barron can play outside. No. If you get this guy, he's 5'11", 180, you play him in the slot and you live with it.
Yeah, which he's not a slot right now. So that's a transition period.
Yeah, transition.
Do you take that guy in the first round? To me, he's not a first round guy. I think he's a second round grade guy. Mm-hmm. Nice player though, and if he does run that 4.39, he does get really interesting. I just don't think he's a first round talent, size and weight.
Oh yeah, sorry, David.
I've seen a couple of draft boards where he's the number 1 corner.
I have too.
So take it for what it's worth. The size does scare me like the rest of you guys. So I don't know.
He's a good player, and I'm kind of with Trent. Very late first round or probably early to mid second round. Is where I think he goes. But if you go back and watch the LSU Clemson game, and you don't come away with the clear understanding that Delaney is by far the better corner, I mean, I don't know what you're watching. I really don't.
Yeah. And Terrell's better in zone than man. So for the Steelers side of things, like, do we want to go get a zone corner? I mean, I would prefer a guy who's better in man than I would a guy who's better in zone, because we desperately need a physical press corner to go across from Joey Porter Jr. so we can run the defenses we've been trying to run since we drafted that goddamn kid. For the love of God. Please,
I will say this: if you watch Delane's tape in zone, he's a beast. He breaks back on the ball so fast, and they're not playing a lot of man at LSU. I mean, he has a good man grade, but when he dropped, like in the cover 2, where I'm thinking where Joey got burned a lot, where hey, do I keep going? Do I stop? Do I play the flat? What do I do? Delane will run back with you. And as soon as he realizes it's short, boom, he is on it, and he can hit. I really would. I would consider trading up for him. I really would.
I'm sorry. Who are you talking about again?
Delane.
Delane.
If he fell to like, if it got to 8 and he was still there, I'd start doing what I could to move up.
Ooh, I almost put McCannaday as my sleeper.
Oh, this is interesting too. Clemson fans saying the scheme's holding a lot of these defensive players back this year.
All their defensive players underwhelmed this year, so it could be something to that.
There's a lot of truth to it, right?
Yeah. So maybe he's right.
Peter Woods, T.J. Parker, probably way better than where they're sitting right now. Yeah, he said T.J. Parker right there.
I was going to ask about Nate Wiggins because he was smallish and fast too for the Ravens, but he was a little taller.
He's taller,
6'1" and a change.
Yeah,
but the knock on him was the same. Not a great run defender, super fast corner,
frail. Yeah. But he could run with everybody. He was very good out of that man coverage. So I don't dislike Terrell. The size scares me, and that's going to be a theme for me throughout this draft process in the corner room.
All right, and who's next? Colton Wood. Yep, Colton Hood. Colton Hood. Mm-hmm. 6 foot 195, projected 4.43.
Dion protege. Although he abandoned Dion. Remember him?
Interesting guy. You didn't like Colton Hood, right? Trent, is that what you said?
Somber doesn't like him.
No, Somber doesn't like him. Yeah. Somber doesn't like either of the Tennessee guys.
Yeah.
I like Colton Hood a little bit more as a coverage guy. He, you can see the run defense grade and some of the stuff that I saw. Like he's not a willing tackler, I don't think, but he can run. I thought he's pretty solid in man coverage from what I'd seen of him, but it's like the SEC guys, you can kind of compare what you see on tape to what you can project in the NFL because they're playing that level of competition. A lot of SEC wide receivers are going to the draft, so I don't know. I think Colton Hood's an interesting guy, and he's another guy. I think he's going in the second round too. He could probably slip into the first round, but I wouldn't feel good taking him in the first round.
I wouldn't feel good taking him in the second, to be honest with you. I'm kind of with Somber here. Now, if I got him in the third, because I think for the Steelers, he's a project. He can run, he can cover, no doubt, but he can't tackle. And although this is a new regime, tackling has always been a trademark of a true Steelers good corner. So, but Joey couldn't tackle coming out of Penn State, and he's turned into a very good tackler compared to what he was. I wouldn't classify him as a great tackler, but he's drastically improved.
He has.
I think he's a first rounder, guys. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't spend a lot of time on him, but what I saw, he looked pretty good.
I could see it going either way. I could see him testing well at the combine, and he slips into the first round. But he's definitely going to be in the back half or back portion of the first round if he does.
Yeah, I think 4.43 has to turn into 4.39 for him to get a first round nod.
I don't know if he runs that.
Maybe a team like Buffalo. Guy. Maybe a team like Buffalo because Tre'Davious White's going to be gone. Maybe they would look at him.
That's a good point. Is that it? Was that 5 for us? I lost track.
Nope.
We got one. No. Brandon Cisse. That's right. 6 foot 190, 4.35. He runs that. I know. Yeah, this is the guy you weren't a fan of.
This is the guy I'm not a fan of. I don't have him.
He's only 70.5.
I don't have him until 10th on my list. I don't think this kid's good in coverage. Now he was. I could be wrong. He was 1 or 2 in his class coming out as a corner prospect. Mm-hmm. He was very, very, very highly recruited. It was kind of shocking he went to South Carolina. He had a ton of NFL draft buzz because of his talent level, but he's just never, ever lived up to it, in my opinion. He is a better tackler than he is a
90 run grade. Do you move him to safety? But at 4.3,
he's only 190 pounds. I mean, like I don't know. That's a small safety.
Yeah,
I think he's a project guy in the NFL. Somebody's going to take a chance on this kid. I don't like him.
Yeah, if he tests like this, he's going to be at least second round.
Yeah, he's not.
He looks bigger than 190 when you watch him on the field. Like he looks bigger than 190, but he just. I don't know. I don't think he's that good in coverage. I don't like his technique. I don't like the way that he I don't know if I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he almost looks like the kid with ADHD. Like, ooh,
There's a squirrel. Like in coverage. That's what he looks like to me. Like he just loses focus.
Wasn't that the knock on Eamon Worry too? That he would come in and out of games. That's why he fell, because he tested off the charts. But the production wasn't there, and the knock on him was that's the South Carolina thing. Maybe they get bored over there. I don't know.
Well,
now if he falls to the third somber, I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if he really runs this time, and I think he's going to, then somebody's going to take him, and somebody's going to way overvalue.
I like that one, Steele.
Somebody's going to way overvalue this kid because of the speed. And look, if you're willing to be patient, like let's say he goes to Philly and he's like their third or fourth corner, then it becomes interesting because they can kind of wait on him to develop. I mean, at this point, you got some work to do, and it's usually the other way around. Is okay, you can cover, but we got to teach you how to play the position and tackle. This is going to be the exact opposite.
He's not in Daniel Jeremiah's top 50. I was just scrolling through.
Yeah, I was going to say this kid is, man, he's the kind of guy, if Mike Tomlin was still here, I could see us drafting. But I do not see the current regime prioritizing this enough to pick him in the overvalue that he's probably going to have. But I'm with Somber. If this kid was here, if he was there at the end of the second round, I'd be trading third round picks to get him.
Yeah.
So his this is what scares me about him. His worst games: Texas A&M, LSU, Alabama.
LSU didn't really have any good wide receivers either.
Yeah, the big games.
Yeah.
No, he played fairly well against Oklahoma and Ole Miss, but that was the Oklahoma when what's his face had his broken hand and they had the backup in.
Yeah.
He played fairly well-ish against Clemson, but I mean, who didn't play well against Clemson this year? Like they had a down year.
They need to do a 30 for 30 on what happened to Clemson this year. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Dabo needs to be
out
of there.
All right, want to do our sleepers?
Yeah. So here's my guy, Chris Johnson. I mean, they got him 55th overall on PFF. I mean, maybe sleeper's kind of a stretch, but he's the second overall graded corner, and he's a big guy. I think the problem is because he played for San Diego State. Everybody's saying he's going to run slow. And look, if he runs 4.55, we're going to be able to get this kid in the third round. I don't think he's going to run 4.55 though. I think he's going to be in the high 4.4s, in which case he's going to start shooting up draft boards, kind of like Mitchell did a couple of years ago. It was, he's not going to run fast. Then he ran fast, and everyone was like, oh shit, he's the best corner in the draft. This kid has a lot of intangibles. I mean, again, competition-wise, is it the best
San Diego State?
Yeah, but look, a corner. I don't like that he's not a great tackler, but I feel like I'd rather have the project of, okay, you can shut the pass down. We're going to teach you how to tackle. They taught Joey how to tackle, like I said before. I think they take this kid. John, Summer, that's a good point. Competition, it will be the thing. I think he's got to run fast. If he runs 4.55, you can't, late third, early fourth is where I see this kid going.
I think 40 time is the most important for corner of any other position.
Yeah, he runs 4.48, 4.49. He's going to be a second round pick.
Yeah. Right now, I think that's where he's probably projected, is in the second round. To me, he looks like a kid who's much, much more comfortable in zone than he does in man. I think he has good eyes at a zone. He does a good job of keeping his eye on the quarterback. He reads and diagnoses routes and where the quarterback's trying to go with the ball pretty well. So I like that side of him. He's another guy that I have seen a lot of people talk about to the Steelers. I personally don't think he's a great fit for the Steelers, but if he runs well and he learns to play better in man coverage, you can teach him to tackle.
Yeah, there's room for some growth here. He could end up being a pretty good corner.
Yeah, you can't just pick him and expect that he's going to step in and be a starter, though, because of the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
There we go.
All right, Trent, you're up.
Prysock, this is my sleeper. So he's a later round guy in this draft class, probably a 6th round pick right now. The size and length are intriguing to me. 6'4", 195 pounds, which isn't big for a 6'4" guy. But listen, last couple of years, we're starting to see these big, long corners that are starting to find success. Used to always be a thing where if they were 6'3", 6'4", I don't think that's a guy that you want to go after because typically they don't change direction very well. They're not very fluid in their hips. I think he's better than a lot of these other long corners. So he's intriguing. And if you don't get your DB early in the draft, I think he's a guy that you could really target. And the 4.52 40 time, that's not terrible, especially for his length, because he can make up a little bit of ground with that length too. So
what did Joey Porter run?
I thought he was
4.50.
4.5.
4.5 flat, right? Yeah.
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 You're
You can get away
talking
with it.
about him being right there. And this is another guy. Long, I think he's better in man coverage, which I like. So I think and he's a willing tackler too. So I think he's an intriguing guy for me late in the draft.
Yeah, it didn't Washington has another corner who's 6'4".
Yeah,
well.
Takario Davis, right?
Yeah,
He's
Takario Davis. I know. I'm pretty sure that's Sombers guy he brought up last week.
Takario's rated a bit ahead of Prysock. I think I had him pulled up earlier. I can't remember where he's at now. Takario is 160 right now on PFF's board, and Prysock is considerably lower than that. So,
All right, and my guy's Jalen Kilgore, 6'1", 211. I think he's a little faster than 4.48. We'll see. This is a slot / safety / do it all for you type corner. It's not an outside. If you're looking for an outside guy, that's not him. I started watching him. I did a couple mocks, and I knew he was in the back end of the draft. And I started watching him. I really, really like him. I think he's a good piece to fit in. I don't know where the Steelers are at slot. We talked about Jalen Ramsey. Is he going to play safety? Is he going to play slot? If they decide to keep Jalen Ramsey at safety, this is a guy you could consider. I think, what do you guys think? 3rd roundish for Kilgore? Maybe a little later than that?
I think later.
You think later? 4th round?
Later. His coverage skills aren't as good. He'd be a really nice big nickel, especially early down type stuff. Honestly, if Pittsburgh took him and Ramsey staying at safety, if you had him and Eccles where you could kind of rotate those guys in as the big nickel in the rundown situations, and even out of like dime situations, he could be like a cover the tight end type guy with that speed and his size.
Yeah,
like he's an interesting guy.
The way he tackles too, if you watch him, he's a monster for his size. So not a typical outside corner guy. If that's what you're looking for, this isn't it. But
no, but if you're looking at sleeper guys, like he's an intriguing piece for sure.
There's another guy who I wouldn't necessarily classify as a sleeper. I didn't put him on the list, but I almost went with him over Chris Johnson. But ultimately, I thought Johnson is a little further down the board because of the competition. Keith Abney from Arizona State. Somebody's going to be very, very happy that they drafted that kid. And I kind of hope it's us. And he's kind of in that, if we can't get those maybe top 4, I may even like him a little better than Hood and Cisse at this point. I'm probably going to vote for him the next time we do it, because I started watching his tape. Man, I mean, he's a little bit more of his own corner because of the scheme at Arizona State. I think he's got that potential to really play. Man, he's kind of like not as good as Delane breaking back on the ball, but man, I like that kid.
I have Keith Abney 4th on my list, right behind Avion Terrell.
Yeah, I like his game a lot,
and I do think he's a really good man cover corner.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of opportunity to show it though. That's the one thing.
He is a very good. There was another sleeper that I liked too, Josh Moten out of Southern Miss. He's a smaller guy also. He's 6 foot 185, but man, his man coverage great. He's a good mix of man and zone, but like against low level competition. So if you're taking a guy late in like the 7th round, he's another guy that pretty intriguing.
And we all know how Trent feels about D'Angelo Pons.
Yeah, I'm glad because I almost forgot. That kid's a dog. I don't know if he's going to translate to the NFL. I don't. But
Man,
goddamn,
he's
he was good. He was good at Indiana, man. He was really good.
He'd be the best corner at any Pop Warner field in the United States.
Stop it. It's too bad. If that kid had 2 inches taller, he'd be.
Look, if he truly measures at 5'9", he will probably play in the NFL. He really will, because there have been 5'9" corners in the slot who've been okay. He's not going to be a superstar, I don't think. But if he comes in at 5'7", 5'8",
that's
you can't draft him. You can't.
Yeah. I think I have him behind D'Angelo Pons and actually ahead of Chris Johnson.
Yeah, Pons ahead of Johnson.
I do.
You think that translates in the NFL though at that size? That's the only concern, because kid's good.
I don't see how he can. I don't know. He played really well against Denzel Boston, who's a big receiver.
True.
And he had a really great game against those Miami receivers. Who
he didn't back out from anybody, dude.
They're both getting drafted. They're not high draft picks. But I mean, he's played really well against everybody he's played against. So you can't knock it. Actually played pretty well against Ohio State too. I mean, he is the best man cover corner in the draft. In my opinion. I think he's the best man cover corner in the draft. And he understands how to use his body and positioning probably better than anybody else, and it's because of his size. Like, he has had to learn to play that way to have success at his size. So I just think, man, I don't know. He'd be a tough guy to pass up because of the success he's had. But man, that durability part scares the shit out of me with him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to hang for 17, 18 games a year by the time you get into the playoffs.
That's a good point.
And the punishment that they take as opposed to what they play in college. That part scares me. And Emmanuel Forbes is the perfect guy to look at for why it should scare you, because he had all the talent and he just can't stay on the field because he's too undersized.
Yeah, Pons is the one out of anybody on that defense that stuck out to me the most watching Indiana. He was always playing well, always on the ball. It's too bad.
Yeah,
if he's there in the third, you got to snap him up, right?
If you think about
and roll the dice, fuck it.
There's another guy who's interesting because he got a year under Belichick. Thaddeus Dixon out of North Carolina I'm interested to see how he's going to do at the combine. He's supposed to be super fast, and he's bigger. He had some Belichick tutelage. I'd be interested. We've got at defensive back, you kind of. I mean, that could be an interesting name. Who is probably? I know some boards have him as high as 6th, but I've seen him as low as 20th in the corners.
Dixon?
So yeah. I mean, that's an interesting guy. I mean, I think if he really runs 4.39, he's probably closer to 6 to 10 range. But let's say he goes a little slower and he's 4.43, 4.44. He's probably gonna be in the teams as far as a cornerback. So could be an interesting late 3rd or early 4th round pick.
He looked rough stuff on the practice. I watched all 3 of the practices of the one-on-ones with the wide receivers and the DBs.
Mm-hmm.
He looked rough in that one.
Yeah.
Adam brings up Scott from Miami. He's a slot, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's up there too. He's up there.
He is. He's actually right above D'Angelo Pons, 6 foot 194. He graded out ridiculous though. He 91.2 run defense, 87.1 coverage grade. Pretty evenly split between man and zone. He looks aggressive in the stuff I've watched, and he played well against everybody except Ole Miss and Indiana. Those
Ole Miss
games.
What are you gonna do? Ole Miss. That's a gold standard.
Jesus Christ.
So let me ask you a question. I mean, I would trade up for Delane in the first round within reason. I'm not trying to trade up into the top 5 for him. But is there anybody who, hey, if this guy's on the board in the late 20s in the first round, that you start packaging picks to go up and get?
If you've already drafted, like you're saying, after 21, and you want to trade up, and I don't know if I
don't think so.
I was thinking about this today. I don't even know. I know we voted this corner being the third biggest need. I don't even know if it is.
We only have one on the roster.
But two, right? Eccles is on the roster, right?
Eccles is on the roster still. Joey Porter Jr. and then goes downhill from there. You got
the
two IR freaking champions.
Yeah. So it is, but I don't know. I'm starting to think offensive line might be more. The more I think about it,
I think this class has some sneaky depth at corner to where I don't want to trade up for a guy because I think another one can fall into your lap somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I want to trade up in this class for a corner unless you really think Delane could be falling into that 17 range, and then you start looking at moving up 4 spots. And then
if Delane starts to fall, then you got to think about it. Then you can steal
Yeah. What did you do in free agency at that point? What are the true positions in the need at that point? Like then you get into real interesting conversations because I think he's worth trading up for.
What about if McCoy starts to drop 14, 15, 16? Do you think about?
I think he's going to drop anyway because of that injury. Unless he tests out ridiculous, I think McCoy missing a whole season, teams forget about you. That's just the way it works in the NFL draft. So,
man, if McCoy's there at 21. Yeah, obviously it depends on free agency and all that stuff if they've gone out and gotten a wide receiver or a corner, but that's like a lottery, ticket. He could be phenomenal. You could have a steal, or he could be.
And honestly, if we bring back James Pierre, the need at corner goes way down, and you're looking way later in the draft anyway. So if we do bring James Pierre back, you do need a guy, but do you need a guy right away? Do you need him in the first or second round is my point. Like, can you wait on a guy who's a developmental piece in the third or fourth round?
Pierre scares me. I don't know if you can rely on him being your second corner. He's got like 5 good games under his belt total in his career.
Yeah.
He would scare me if he was the number 2 corner.
Yeah. I think it really depends. I don't want to necessarily see them go free agent looking for cornerbacks because that's usually extremely expensive to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a much bigger fan of drafting corners or bringing in like a mid-tier vet, maybe not a 35-year-old vet this time. Bringing like a 27, 28-year-old vet, maybe. God
damn it. Dave was the only one on top of that one.
I got a hard and fast rule on corners. Don't sign them over 30. It's not like that way for me on a lot of positions, but corner especially.
Do we want to talk about a few of the free agents?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Throw a couple up there.
So I have a list right now of free agent corners. That Nashawn Wright, who was the Bears corner, who, if you don't remember who he was, just think of the Mason Rudolph interception as soon as he came into the game. 6'4",
nice play.
Yeah, very nice play. And he locked down DK. I mean, he was one-on-one on an island. He was locking down DK in that game. So Nashawn Wright he's an interesting guy. I think he was 20. What did I tell you earlier, Dave? Was 25 years old.
Yeah.
So he's still very young. Tariq Woolen. Listen, if you go based on what he's done so far, Reek's probably not going to be a guy that you really, really want to bring in on your franchise. But if you look at this list, there's not a ton of names on here. Jalen Watson, he's another guy that I think is really intriguing. And then you start to go downhill based on production, and you're looking at what their projection could be. Greg Newsome.
I kind of like Newsome.
Jamel Dean would be the other 2 guys.
There was a name that that Steel Loyal was laughing at here in chat.
Did McCarthy have him in Dallas? Was McCarthy?
Yes.
I agree to laugh at Trayvon Diggs, though. The dude hasn't finished the season in 3 years.
Well, in general, I agree. He's been hurt a lot. But because of the Dallas connection, would I pay a lot for him? No. But do I see them maybe taking a flyer if he's out there and he'll take a cheap contract? I don't necessarily think he's not a franchise saver, but I think he could end up in the Steelers. Yeah,
would you rather have him up Pierre?
Pierre.
If I knew Diggs was healthy, Diggs. But
if you know Diggs is healthy, that's a guarantee.
Well, that's the problem though. He's not been healthy in 3 seasons.
Did he have kind of an attitude problem last year in Dallas too? They benched him?
Listen, they shipped his ass out for a reason.
He's no George Pickens.
He wasn't exactly traded. They just got rid of him.
Yeah, they benched him for a while, and then they end up cutting him at the end of the season?
Yeah, they cut him.
Yeah.
So there was something going on there. I don't know what it is,
but new regime too. That wasn't the guys who
right.
Who had him and liked him a lot. So do I think? But that's kind of the Omar MO of, okay, you're kind of past it, but let's see if we can get it back one more time. And looking back though, do you wonder, was it really Omar going with these past the problems?
Here we go.
Or was this Tomlin going, to get Darius Slay? He's a big name.
Omar never did anything wrong. Blame it on Tomlin.
I wouldn't say he never did anything wrong. He's obviously done things wrong at wide receiver.
I think Slay was a Tomlin guy, if I'm being honest. I think Slay was, just like Patrick Peterson was. I don't want to let Omar off the hook, but I think both those guys, Tomlin had fondness for.
Yeah.
Stupidly.
It'll be really interesting if they finally draft a corner in the first round in the post-Tomlin era. I think you got to go D-line, O-line in the first. You go wide receiver in the second. And in the third, that's where you start picking corner in some of these other positions.
It's going to be interesting, right? Because Andy Weidl and Omar haven't really drafted skill positions much at all.
If we don't draft a damn wide receiver in the first round and Denzel Boston is on the board, I'm gonna blow a fucking gasket. I'm so tired of ignoring that position in a league that we're gonna run 11 personnel. You need 3 receivers this year. Right now, we need at least 3 receivers.
Yeah, but
you have to fucking draft a receiver in the first round if Denzel Boston's on the board. I'm gonna have PTSD from the fucking Steelers. I'm just gonna.
If Denzel Boston's off the board, then I don't think the value's there.
Then the value's not there, and then I understand it. And you go in the second round, you probably go get a guy like Omar Cooper.
But then you look and you say, not since Antonio Holmes, and you look at McCarthy, who never did.
I don't think either one of them, either the Steelers back then or McCarthy, had this much of a need. I mean, this is dire. Desperate. This is dire.
Yeah.
Well, but then again, you look at the history of the first round picks. Antonio Holmes was pretty good, got Super Bowl MVP, but ultimately he was only here 4 or 5 years. He didn't get a second contract.
Yeah, because he was getting trouble off the field. That's why they got rid of him.
No, not Holmes. So Holmes just wanted more money, and they said
he got in trouble too. If you look it up, he had something going on.
Well, and then before that, it was Plaxico.
Yeah, and
who I love, one of my favorite players, but 5 cent head. Grew up a lot when he went to jail, and had a nice second half of the career. That is the guy who I know you say Martavis Bryant, but if Plaxico had ever gotten
Plaxico was very good.
Plaxico and Ben would have been, and you would have never known who Antonio Brown was,
which
so
would have been unfortunate.
If you don't think the franchise has any chance of drafting a first-round wide receiver, then how comfortable are you paying $20 million to Alec Pierce?
Very comfortable. Very comfortable.
Because then that's your one free agent signing. Maybe you sign 2. I think you probably only sign 1. My preference would be to only sign 1.
I still sign Doubs because I think the tall receiver you can get like Alec Pierce,
that's a lot of money. You're paying a lot of money on wide receiver now.
No. I signed Doubs, not Pierce, and I draft.
I see.
I draft the Pierce archetype in the draft because there's guys I like in that archetype.
Yes.
Yeah, CA3's gone. That ship has sailed. How many?
McCarthy does not like small receivers, so CA3 is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't. His career. I mean, Cora brought that up, and he did some research on it. He does not like small receivers at all. He likes the 6'1" plus guys. Which is why Dobbs becomes interesting because isn't he right at 6 foot?
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, I know he's been there in Green Bay, so like he'll be the interesting guy. But
I just like him because I think he's technically sound. He's what DK isn't, and Alec Pierce is technically sound, but I still think he's kind of DK-ish on the other side. And you still need that kind of I'm a route running technician, and I think Doubs fills that need. I mean, if you're telling me we're going to get Mekhi Lemon and Alec Pierce, I'm in. But if you're telling me we're going to get Alec Pierce and Malachi Fields, I still think we're looking for the route runner.
Yeah, I like the route runner idea too, and that's why if you can get Omar Cooper in the second round, he runs out of your slot. He's the route runner. So that's why
Romeo Dobbs was 6'1". I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, was he 6'1"? Okay.
6'1" and change. 6'1" and 7/8, 1/8. So let's just a little over 6'1".
Green Bay has an archetype. They're you got to fit a mold in Green Bay.
You do.
Roman, I think, comes back because he's cheap.
I do too. He's a rookie.
Was he 5'10"?
Yes.
Yeah, Roman should be gone. I would cut him. I really would.
5'10"
I mean, you're not paying him anything. That was a third round pick. Okay, fine. You can come to camp. Get water. Make sure that Aaron's hydrated. But hey, do I get to put the pads on today, Coach? Is all the water filled? Yes. Good. Start on tomorrow.
So it's interesting. The Steelers have drafted under Omar and Weidl 1 wide receiver, and how many corners? Well, they got Joey Porter.
Yeah.
Two corners. JPJ and
Corey Trice.
Trice in the 7th round.
And Dante Kent.
Oh, and Dante Kent too. So three. They've drafted more corners. So yeah.
You know what they drafted a hell of a lot of?
Offensive
and defensive line.
Yeah.
That's
so now they're gonna have to switch gears eventually, and no better time than now. I like Hurst, by the way, Adam. I like him a lot.
Yeah. You know what? I honestly, something, because especially with McCarthy being here, the thing that I've kind of really come around to, we completely lost the cornerback episode already. I really am coming around to having like a power slot type receiver, like an archetype of a power slot guy, like big, physical. If your boy
Tebow Samuel type, not him.
Yeah, if your boy from Louisville falls because of that injury and he can't be in the combine.
Yes.
Let's say that dude falls into the third round.
Bell. Right? Chris Bell? Yep.
Yeah. My God, if you could get a guy like that as a power slot,
I'm all in.
Oh, dude, that's a really intriguing thing for me. And then Roman Wilson, if he was your wide receiver 4, is that small, like change of pace, almost like how they do with running backs type of receiver, where you bring him in and you go with spread, and he could be a deep threat across from DK. I don't know, man. I'm coming around to that idea more and more.
I'm with you, Sauer. Either one of the Bells. But again, Chris Bell's got that injury, so we don't know how the NFL is going to view him. He's not going to participate in any testing. So, but his tape is phenomenal.
That's why I'm wondering if he falls down into that third round range, because he's probably at worst, he's probably a second round talent.
If you go back and look with Devontae Adams when McCarthy was there, he operated out of the slot a lot.
Exactly. That's why I started coming around. I was thinking about some of the guys he's utilized out of the slot, and I'm like, I'm telling you what, he might be bringing the power slot back here, where you get those big physical receivers that have a good release at the line of scrimmage.
Do you think DK can do that?
Oh, dude, I would put DK in the slot all freaking. I was arguing about that. How many times in War Room did I talk about moving that dude?
Yeah, but if he's going to be your primary slot, then you definitely need to go out and get a couple. You need 3 or 4 wide receivers.
Well, then you get Alec Pierce. You pay what you need to pay to get Alec Pierce, right?
Pierce, and then go get a guy like Bryce Lance later in the draft. Another big, tall, fast receiver.
You want to be the bully boys that.
Dude, I want nothing but fucking 6'3" and above right now.
Wow.
Dude, especially if guys can run. Man,
I'm at the goal line. And then you bring Darnell and Pat in with those 3, and you go 5 wide and put Aaron alone in the backfield. If you're inside the 5-yard line, I mean, okay, just you look. He's going to look over the defense before it starts and it says, "Okay, who's the 5'10" guy covering?" He's just going to throw him the ball.
Yeah,
you need one smaller guy just to balance it out.
Well, that's why I'm saying Roman Wilson's on the roster. He's your run him in some crossing patterns and stuff like that. Let him work the middle of the field with Pat Freiermuth. Like,
I don't think he
have these big monsters just go.
I like it. I could be talked into that.
I mean,
the power slot is the way to go. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I want the power slot to be back.
But if you're gonna go a little guy, don't you go get one of those guys in the draft, and our little guy will be like 6'1", 6'2". What's Hurst? I think he's like 6 foot.
Right? He's 6'3".
Yeah, he's taller. Yeah, he's
Hurst is
taller.
6'3".
Okay, so he can be our little guy.
He's an outside. He's going to be an X or a Z.
Yeah.
His catch radius is pretty solid.
Again, that's a competition thing, but he did pretty well at Senior Bowl too. He kind of stood out. So,
not to mention the fact, look, if Aaron's going to get rid of the ball faster, if the offensive line starts to struggle, if you got a fucking basketball team out there of 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guys, okay, take 2 yards. I'm going to throw it to you. Fall forward for 6. Okay, 2nd and 4, 1st and 10, 2nd and 3. 1st and 10, second down the field, and hey, you can throw it and get rid of it in 2 seconds. And if as long as it's DK falling forward or one of these giants falling forward, and hey, every once in a while, hey, I got a block. Okay, Alec, catch this long pass.
all right.
I could be talked into it.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else on the cornerback before we get out of here? We get sidetracked as usual. We don't have Corb here keeping us in line.
Yeah.
Thank God.
The chat keeps wanting the wide receivers. Let's be honest. Like,
it's the biggest.
They're going to
need.
drag.
It's hard not to talk about that position.
They're going to drag us into this every show.
Need.
DK Lemon Lane. I think he means
I'm not
Lane.
a big fan of Lane.
No, not Lane. No,
not a Lane fan.
I want nothing to do with Lane.
Yeah,
he's
big,
awkward. He doesn't even high point the ball for a dude his size. He's 6'5" and can't high point.
DK, Boston, and Pierce. Woo-hoo.
Come on,
talk about big. You want to go big? There you go.
So, draft a 6'7" kid from Houston too, the tight end.
Yeah. So, anybody put any crazy bets in the Super Bowl? I did bet the Jake Bobo touchdown.
Of course you did.
Jesus.
Of course you did.
It's 1,000 to 1.
After we get off here, I'm going to sit down and look at my props and see what I want to do. I really don't have a good feel for this game at all. I don't know how this is going to go.
I mean, on paper, the 12-5 battle-tested coming out of that NFC West. I just feel like the Seahawks came out of the best division in football, and let's face it, they earned their way. I mean, you know, Trent's been on them all year. I mean, I'm very late to the party here with the Seahawks. I'm not convinced on Darnold.
Darnold scares me. That's it. Donald scares me. I think they're going to take it. Good.
I was going to say, I thought that's why they were going to lose to the Rams. I thought he was going to choke it there, but he played really good.
He and JSN, they have a connection going in.
They do have a connection. It's wild. Well, it's not wild. JSN's a great receiver, so he's smart. Go to that guy.
Yeah. Go to the guy who gets open every play.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Don't complicate it. Just do do
I am going to bet.
Or if you're the Steelers, you make sure that guy is the decoy and you throw it to fucking Calvin Austin.
Yeah.
God help me.
With the Patriots, I mean, obviously Christian Gonzalez against JSN is going to probably be the key to the game, which is why I think Bobo is going to get loose. Because I forget who the other quarter is. He's not bad, but he'll be on Cooper Kupp, which means I think Bobo and maybe the tight end Barner, they eat in the middle of the field a little bit against.
Don't think they'd rather throw to Rashid Shaheed?
I mean, obviously they'd like to go deep, but I think that what's the other New England corner's name? I can't
think of it right now either. I kept wanting to say Jack Jones, but
I got it pulled up. Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
He's pretty good.
Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They got.
So you send Shaheed deep, you pull him out, and then now you've got Barner and Bobo in the middle of the field. Or what I really think is going to happen a lot is I think Kenneth Walker is going to really hurt them in the screen game. I know people think the vaunted Patriots run defense, but I'll believe that when I see it. I mean, we ran the ball pretty well against them.
I said this on the fantasy show. I think the key to this game is can the Patriots mask Will Campbell's and that left side of their lines deficiencies. Seattle's got to attack that. They're going to put the quarterback under a lot of pressure, hopefully, and that leads to some turnovers. That's because Will Campbell's not a good tackle. And he's a rookie to begin with in a Super Bowl game. That's recipe for disaster.
So it'll be interesting to see if Seattle decides to move DeMarcus Lawrence, the veteran, over top of him, the veteran against the rookie, because I know I'm spacing on the kid's name, the kid from Minnesota.
Seattle.
Him up. Yeah, the edge rusher. Oh my gosh, I talked about him last time when we played him. Actually,
hold on a second.
But I mean, he's the type of guy who's probably going to give Will Campbell a ton of problems because he is the speed with the bend off the edge. He doesn't finish a lot of sacks.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, he's not from Minnesota. He rotates. He's a rotational guy.
Oh, Boye
Mafe. He was the one I was thinking of. I think Boye Mafe could be a secret ingredient to Will Campbell's issues because he's got that speed and the bend to give Will some issues.
Yep.
And Lawrence could be that bull rush speed to power guy that, it's going to be interesting to see how they play this. But Will Campbell's going to be the key to keeping Drake May upright or not.
I also think you can't let Drake May win the game with his legs. I mean, and I don't think Seattle will. I'll fight that. Well,
I like that.
Good call.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, at some point, at some point it's got to be, hey, it was too soon. And kind of like Ben in that first year when the Steelers were 15-1, where he just barely got by. And I feel like May tried to give the game to the Texans. He tried to give the game to the Broncos. I just feel like if he comes out and he plays, if he turns the ball over more than once, I just can't see how the Patriots can beat them. I really don't.
Seahawks secondary is pretty good. Hopefully they're sticky enough to. And the Patriots wide receiver group is not good. It's just not good. Diggs. He's over the hill now, and
Kyle Williams could be sneaky here because I think he could toast Tariq Woolen at will. The question is, they don't play him very much, and if they do play him, are they going to be able to hold the ball that long to get the ball down the field to him?
Yeah.
He's a guy I was shocked about too because Kyle Williams I thought was going to have a little bit of pep in his step going into that offense with a lack of receivers, but I'm shocked Kayshon Boutte is the guy who's getting all the playing time over him.
And Bootie's actually been pretty good.
Yeah.
Bootie's been pretty good. Yeah.
It's going to be something weird's going to happen in the game, though. That's why I said I feel like it just feels like the Willie Parker Super Bowl where, Kenneth Walker will be the most dominant offensive player, but Willie won't get Willie didn't get rewarded with the MVP. Hines did for throwing the touchdown pass, or catching the touchdown pass, I should say. Randall threw it. But
if you're looking at somebody that's going to be like Willie Parker, it's Trevion Henderson, right? He could make a couple big plays to break this game open.
You ain't gonna talk me into representing some Buckeyes in here, okay?
That's the one that worries me a little bit.
I still think KW3 is more expensive or more explosive. I mean, when he's right, and he's been right in the playoffs, there's precious few backs who can do what
he's a better overall back, but Trevion Henderson is
more explosive. The dude who's got multiple 70-yard touchdowns this season is not more explosive.
Yeah, I mean, Walker breaks up big plays all the time. I'll take it. I'll take him long term. That's why I think. Not to mention the fact Trevion Henderson is fourth string in New England at this point?
No. He's 1A to
they're a rotation.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I don't think you can run on the Seattle defense. Nobody has.
We'll see.
That's the part that's going to be interesting because they have played very well in the run game.
All right, guys, we've gone pretty long, and we're way off the cornerback thing now. Trent will be back on Monday with the Here We Go podcast to go over the Super Bowl and whatever else.
Mock Draft Tuesday,
and then we'll be back Friday with our regular show. You guys in the chat were great as always. Thanks a lot. A lot of great names you brought up today. Big help as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for listening to Steel Sanctuary Podcast.
All right.
And just like that, I left everything. See ya!